out and I may get Sarah to finish.
These part of your
I don't know.
I will introduce myself. I am Agnes Lucretia Calder. I was born on September the 22nd, 1858, daughter of Edmund and Hannah Parrott Holder. I am the fourth child in the family. 4 more followed me. My first memories, we would be living on the top of a big hill now known as Whittaker's at Holderville, New Brunswick. My father was a sea captain and was away from home most of the time. We wrote letters to him and we received many from him. My mother became poorly after Frank, the 8th child, was born, August '66. She was advised to go to sea with her husband, which she did, early in 1867. They took my sister Amelia with them so she could look after our mother, help look after our mother. Amelia was 11 years old. Ma did not return to St. John for over a year. She arrived in June and died a few days later. We at home had our mother's sister, Aunt Mary Ann, to look after us, which she did very well. As we got older, we'd get fed up with her at times. I don't remember just when she left us. In August 1868, my father, Abby, and Amelia were preparing for sea again. Some of us were at the harbor to say farewell. I was very close to my sister and knew how much I would miss her. I asked Pa if I could go along too. He agreed. Someone ran back to a store and brought back a bolt of cotton material so Amelia, 13 almost, could make me some dresses. As we left St. John, just past Partridge Island, one of the sailors stabbed the first mate. We turned back by steamboat. They anchored our ship, Hannah H. She laid there for 4 days. Pa had left the second mate and brother Abby on board, and he was 15. They took the injured mate to the city, plus 3 men in irons, an exciting way to start a trip. Soon out we passed a vessel, bottom up. Her bows were underwater and the seas were breaking over her. While at sea, Amelia and I did some sewing and knitting. Amelia read many books. I had a doll to play with. Sometime we would take the bird up on the deck with us. I turned 10 in September. We sailed to Ireland. Later on, we went through to the Mediterranean. While at Tarragona, Spain, Pa bought me a little set of dishes. After we came back through Gibraltar, we headed for Buenos Aires, South America. It was very hot on the way. Pa had an awning put up, which made it better. We had hens aboard. They started laying in January. After we left South America, we headed for New York. And then she goes on to 1872. I went to sea again on the Lydia. I had my 14th birthday at sea. We sailed to Montevideo, South America. Amelia was near 17. We visited on land different times. One time we landed on the side of the mountain. Mr. S. and his sons could speak good English, but the mother and daughter only knew a little. But as we knew a little Spanish, we spent a very pleasant day. The daughter took us out around the grounds. We had a fine dinner with the most delicious chocolate I have ever tasted. It was served in the drawing room an hour later. In the evening we drove in a bus, which had a young man on the roof, to see that we arrived safely. We hired a boat to take us out to our vessel. We also visited to the top of the mountain at one time and had dinner there with a party of captains' wives. December the 25th, 1872, Amelia's 17th birthday. We found our stockings empty. I suggested we stay in bed until something was in them. We tried that, but nothing happened. I think old Santa is mean. February the 27th, 73, they butchered the hog. So we had hog for breakfast, dinner, and supper. We had the head roasted. It was delicious. We had a few passengers on board. We 3 girls wanted to go near Island Fernando to something or another, but Pa said no. Instead, he would let us go into Barbados. We would like to get introduced to some nice young men or rich old ones.
Some things don't
Try to
change.
marry them. We prepared our dresses for Barbados and our hair. I put mine up in paper and I became very cross doing it. Amelia braided hers. We bowed to some officers and they bowed back to us. And then she goes on up, they were heading up north. The hurricane. The hurricane started in the morning. Low glass and squalls, increasing in strength. All sails taken down, and what was left was soon torn to pieces. One of the sailors had his clothes blown off coming down from aloft. The squalls increased, and it sounded just like thunder coming from the sky. 2 men stood at the wheel, while Pa stood by calling to them, keep her up, meaning to keep her before the wind. They nearly lost the lifeboats. The hen coop was blown overboard. As the wind increased, they couldn't keep her up any longer. She lay on her side. We thought the moment had come. Then she straightened up. After the wind had abated a bit, we could hear the mate and Pa shouting to each other. They had to shout to hear. And they suggested that they had better set a staysail. I, Aggie, had been so frightened all along I was near crazy. I called to the steward, a mulatto, to go on deck and tell my father I wanted to see him. He went up and came back. Pa said that he could not come. I sent the steward again. Pa asked what I wanted. I sent a message back. Don't set the staysail. Of course I was ignored, and the sail was set, but was torn to ribbons in short order. Mr. Kerr came to talk to us for a few minutes. He had an axe strapped to his waist in case they had to cut away the masts. As we huddled in our room, Mrs. Hayhare, a devout Catholic, was repeating, "Say your prayers, girls, say your prayers." Her husband managed to get to their room and returned with a bottle of holy water, which he threw on the windy side of the ship. Soon after, the wind abated, and I just supposed that they thought it had saved us. They were a lovely couple, middle-aged. The hurricane lasted for 6 hours.
Wow.
Barb has a picture in the boat there of a boat on its side. 1879. She says, sometimes I didn't like living in the country, that would be up in Holderville. We were all quite excited when Pa suggested that they build a house and all move to Portland, Adelaide Street in St. John, North End. We finally moved in the summer of 1879. Pa was away to sea a lot. We siblings lived in the new house. The older boys were at sea sometimes. Amelia was sort of the boss. The big boys all went to work. I worked as a milliner, making hats. Frankie was only 13, so he went to school. Ada was sick a lot. Money was scarce. We borrowed $1 from Aunt Lizzie, the Uncle Robert's wife, to buy Ada some medicine. We attended church and Sunday school, and we took in entertainment if we could. Pa's last sea trip was to Ireland. He sold the vessel and returned home in a steamship. He would tease us, pretending he was looking for a wife. We were afraid he really meant it. Sometimes we would go up to the country for a few days. We had lots of relatives up there, and we had lots of relatives stopping on Adelaide Street too. Ray, my brother, went away to sea and became a captain. In 1884, Pa was very ill and bedridden at home. We looked after him. We had to sit up at nights with him. He died April the 25th, 1884, at 59 years of age. Our sister Ada, the one that was sick, died 1889 at 29 years of age. I have told too much about my younger life, so I'll jump ahead. I believe I met my future husband at a church rally. We were married August the 30th, 1891. Amelia and Ben had got married in 1886. My husband, Erastus Phineas Calder, was a Baptist minister. We had 3 children, Ada, a school teacher who moved west and married Mr. Mackenzie, Raymond, Ray, a bank manager, and Lila became a nurse in USA and married John Kimball, 1929. We have moved many times due to Mr. Calder being a minister. She always called him Mr. Calder to us. She never called him a rest. Mr. Calder being a minister.
Yeah, really.
We moved through New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Nova Scotia. One church that my father had, or that my husband had, was at Lower Mill Stream, New Brunswick. Mr. Calder developed cancer of the mouth and died in 1923. After I became a widow, I moved here and there. I spent many summer months boarding at Amelia's house. She kept boarders to help Ben. I went west for different winters to my daughter Ada's. Sometimes I would take a room in St. John for the winter. My son Ray sent me money every month, so I was quite comfortable. I stayed quite active. About 1994, I was boarding at the Pussies in Gorham's Bluff for the winter. I took sick, and my daughter Lila took me into her house. She was good to me. I had to follow her rules, special diets, etc. I used to like to walk down to Charlotte's or Gladys's. At times we had little treats down there that Lila knew nothing about. I liked lavender perfumes. My bedroom always smelled of it. I also liked to play games with my nieces. We played a lot of flinch. I always liked to have my own way. I was always on time, or even too early. I could tell you more about myself, but we are out of time.